The boy found a pair of magical trousers that the trouser pockets were clearly empty, but he kept pulling out money. The poor boy becomes a rich man in an instant. Tom and Jack immediately go on a shopping spree. They pack up all sorts of toys and snacks. They pack toys and snacks and eat the most luxurious children's meals. The cashier is dumbfounded when they pay. They are driven home in luxury cars. They were driven home in a luxury car, attracting admiring glances along the way. They are the winners of their lives. While they were playing this game at home, Dad comes home unexpectedly and they hid their toys in case Dad found out. They hid their toys in case Dad found out. When they have money, they don't even bother to work. They don't even bother to work anymore. They hire homeless people to help them out. They had a good life, but there's no such thing as a leak. Dad soon finds out about Tom's new phone. He suspects he's been stealing money. Tom runs out of the house in frustration. He doesn't know. As he wonders, a homeless man sits next to him. A homeless man sits next to him, and he tells him that family is the greatest thing. Tom figured it out. He took a large sum of money out of his trouser pocket and gave it to the homeless man as a thank you. Although the homeless man had never seen so much money before, he tried to return it anyway. He was knocked down by a passing car. Tom was terrified. He approaches his best friend to discuss the matter. Kerry offered to pay the homeless man back. On the day the homeless man was discharged from hospital, Tom arranged for a limousine to take him. He was taken to a presidential suite. He was given a taste of the life of a rich man. They came out feeling very comfortable, but when they saw some homeless people and homeless children on the street, they silently slipped money into the hands of those in need. They are respected for their lovely appearance. The trio also found out from the internet that children in Africa have no water to drink. Some children have no place to study. Tom kept pulling money out of his trouser pockets. They put the money in a mail bag and sent it all out with love, but they didn't know the danger was approaching. Boy finds a pair of magical trousers with unlimited money in their pockets. Meanwhile, large amount of banknotes found mysteriously disappearing from Swiss bank. Surveillance shows no sign of intrusion. The police are at their wits' end. On the other hand, the local gang started looking for Tom because they found the trousers first, but they were lost when the police caught them on the move. The gangs have found Tom in the street. One of the gangsters has revealed his whereabouts. Tom was still at home watching TV with his dad. The news of the bank theft was on the television. He confesses to Dad about the trousers. Dad felt that the trousers would put them in danger and told Tom not to use them again. And the next morning, the gang broke into the house and grabbed Dad. Tom escaped on his bike when they weren't looking. He found his friends and discussed what to do. In the end, he decided to trade in his trousers for someone else. The police also used the mal surveillance to pinpoint Tom as the suspect. On the other hand, the gangster called Tom's phone. The police also used the mal surveillance to pinpoint Tom as the suspect. On the other hand, the gangster called Tom's phone. He told him to come to the pier tomorrow for the exchange. The next day, Tom and the three of them tried to rescue their dad, but they were exposed. Jack tried to buy them off with money and was taken straight away, but Tom had a trick up his sleeve. Jack had a tracker hidden on him. Tom found the homeless man's uncle in a little car and headed straight for the mob's base. Soon after, the police also spotted Tom's trail. They turned the car around and fled. Finally, they drove into the woods to escape the police, only for the police to come back. The homeless man told them to get out of the car. He drove off to distract the police, but it wasn't long before another group of policemen arrived. They rushed to escape, but they were blocked by barbed wire. Kerry came up with a plan. The police soon came after them, but they didn't see Tom at all. The two men were hiding under their feet, and finally thought they'd got under the fence. That's when they had no choice but to leave. Tom, after a long walk, he finally arrived at the mob's base. These trousers can pull out unlimited money. Kerry poured gasoline on her trousers and flicked on the lighter. They wanted to trade the trousers for the hostages. Tom told the mob to let them go first, as Tom counts down the days, and the mob finally gave in. But after Dad and Jack were brought out, the boss made Tom hand over the trousers himself. Tom had to let Dad and the gang leave first. He stayed behind to exchange the trousers, but the boy was still a boy. When he returned the trousers and tried to leave, the black boss grabbed him, and that's when the homeless man drove up in his car. He ran over the black man. Tom grabbed the trousers and got into his car and fled. The gang immediately drove after him. In the chase, the homeless man was shot. They had no choice but to leave him behind and run away. The men flee into a steel mill. The black boss chased after Tom.